Hey everybody, this is Bill Pescosolido, and this is the Elite Marketing Pro Daily Dose of Awesome. Today is Thursday, and I am here to talk with you about the Elite Marketing Pro Daily Dose of Awesome call, which is basically a 10 to 15 minute quick dose of value, inspiration, mindset, business building, tips, tactics, strategies, etc. We do this every single day here over on the Elite Marketing Pro fan page. And so a lot of you are probably very familiar with this, and there's a lot of people on right now, I'm sure, who have come to these calls quite often. In fact, right now what I'd like you to do is tell me, type below in the comments section who you are and where you're coming in from today. And the city and state or the city and country that you are viewing this live broadcast from right now. And I'm going to actually hop over to my other computer because I want to see who is here and interact. All right, we've got Gloria, we've got Melinda. Hey guys, we have Heather. How are you, Heather? Dagmar from Lake Arrowhead, California. That is awesome. Keep chiming in below. Comment where you're from. Say hello. Again, I'd love to interact with you while we're doing this call today. And just so you know, this call or this live broadcast is going to be about 3 things you must know, 3 things that you must have really a good grasp of, a full understanding of, that you're really dialed in regards to building your personal brand online. And so I'm going to get to each of those 3 things here in a minute. But before I do, I just want to see who else is here. Let's see, we've got Jun from California. How are you? Jennifer from Tennessee. Hey, Jennifer. Linda from San Antonio, Texas. Gloria. Hey, Gloria. You're from Toronto. Awesome, awesome. So we've got a good group, and more people are hopping on and tell me where they're from. Noel from Santa Maria, Belacawan, Philippines, maybe. Awesome. Jill, New Jersey. Teresa, hey. Penny, Salt Lake City. Very, very cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So now before I dive in real quick, I just want to say I hope that if anyone chimes in and says that they're from Florida or that they're watching this from Florida right now, I would submit that while as awesome as these daily doses of awesome are, and as awesome as this one is about to be in a moment, if you're in Florida right now, you probably have more important things to do than watch me right now in a Facebook Live. So I might recommend that you flee, pack up, leave, evacuate, whatever. And just a quick shout out to all of our friends and family in Florida. I hope you're doing okay. Please, if you're being told to evacuate, please evacuate, and we wish you all the best, sincerely. Hope that you make it through okay. So let's now dive in to the three, I hate the word thing because thing is just so generic. But what are they? They're things, I guess. I don't know. But 3 things that you need, that you have to have dialed in to build your online brand. And I guess maybe that these first 2 are really questions, sort of rhetorical questions that you're going to need to answer for yourself. Now, the first question is, and actually before I even get into that, I was reading an article today because I was doing a little preparation for this morning, for this call right now. And I was thinking, let me go online, let me just do a little research and preparation. Which I realized after reading some of the articles I read, I realized these things are a waste. I don't really need to prep. I know what I'm talking about. But this one article, it was 10 tips to build your brand. And they went so in depth on how you have to come up with a logo. Creating a logo was like the number 3 thing. And they talked about how important your logo was and how your logo means everything and how you got to put so much time and effort and thought into your logo because, if you don't get your logo right, then you won't be able to build a brand online. And I'm here to tell you that that's absolutely hogwash. And to whoever wrote that article, you don't know what you're talking about at all. Logo is the last thing. If there's a list of things on brand building, creating your logo probably comes in at the very bottom. It's the very last thing. It's just an image. It's nothing, right? Because there's so many more important things, more foundational things, more deep-rooted things that I'm going to talk about here in a second that are so much more important and come so far before you ever think about a logo. So just if you ever read an article and they say that logo is so important for your brand, just ignore it and even comment back to them, tell them that they're stupid, right? Because here's what is important. I'm going to tell you right now. So the first thing, ask yourself this question. Number one, what do you stand for? It's a very simple question, but what do you stand for? So if you want to create an online brand and an online presence, and if you want people to get to know you, you've got to make it very loud and clear what you stand for, meaning what is important to you. What are you standing up and saying, this is what I'm about, and this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do for you, and this is what is important to me. That's how you create a brand and a presence. People who, if they're going to want to follow you, if they want to, obviously, if you want them to get to know, like, and trust you, if you want them to ultimately become a customer or to buy from you, they've got to know what you stand for. And this is so important when it comes to creating that online brand. And I'll give you an example of what I mean. So for example, my wife Michelle and I, what we stand for, one of the things that's very important to us when it comes to our brand online is that we don't promote or endorse or pitch or anything, any product or service or information product or course that we don't fully believe in ourselves. So do you understand what I mean by that? It's very important, and we make that clear. We're never going to promote something just for the sake of promoting it. We're never going to promote a system like Elite Marketing Pro. We're never going to promote create a course or be an affiliate of someone else's course if we don't firmly believe that what is being taught and trained in that course is of the highest value and quality and integrity. We're never going to promote if someone's got a product launch or a book launch or whatever the case might be. We would never email our list if we ourselves hadn't actually purchased and read that book or purchased and used that course and that we fully know and believe in the person behind it. And that's just an example. That's one of the things that we stand for. Now, and the reason why I say this is because I know that there's plenty of marketers out there who don't give a flip. They'll just promote anything to make a buck. And what we want to do is we want to distinguish ourselves from those type of marketers. A, because it's just who we are. We firmly believe what we believe, and we want to stand behind anything that we're promoting. But B, because, again, we want to separate ourselves because there's a lot of people out there who would just promote anything and everything and do it just for the sake of making some money. And for us, our brand and our image and that representation of what we are doing is far more important. And my dog's barking because someone's at the door, but that's okay. Michelle's handling it. I think our cleaning lady just got here. That integrity, that representation that we have, and that for people knowing that about us is far more important than making $1 or making a couple bucks. All right. So if that makes sense to you, if from a brand standpoint, if knowing what you stand for and kind of shouting from the rooftops about that to your audience, if you get that, if that makes sense to you, I want you to type a 1 in the comments section below. And I'm going to look over here on my handy dandy computer to see all the ones. Again, type a 1, and there might be a little bit of a delay. So type a 1. Nice. I see some ones. Jennifer, Larry, Dagmar. Cool. Eric. Hey, Eric Duncanson, what's up? Sally, nice. I see a lot of 1s. Very cool. So, and keep them coming. Keep the 1s coming. And if you like that, if that makes sense to you, just that first thing of knowing what you stand for and shouting it from the rooftops, if you like the idea of that and you think that seems a good thing to do and that rings true to you, click the like button or the heart button below. So in addition to typing 1, just click the like or the heart. So let's move on to the second thing, number 2. So in addition to knowing what you stand for from a brand building standpoint, you've got to know what you stand against. All right, so what is it out there that you see that just repels you? What is it out there that you know is going on that you just can't stand? What do you stand against? And this is almost as important as articulating what you stand for. But when you share what you stand against, it's also a great way for you from a branding standpoint to to distinguish yourselves from those people, whatever, those companies, those marketers, those gurus, those whoever that you are not in alignment with, that you disagree with, that you're standing and saying, you know what, I don't like when I see this happening. I can't stand that some people do this, and I stand against this. And whatever that might be, right? It could be a lot of different things. And for you on this call, you guys here, it might be something very different for each one of you. It could be something very deep and personal. But the thing about building a brand and fleshing out these kind of deep personal feelings and thoughts and emotions of what you stand against, and then articulating that to your audience, that's going to make you seem so much more real to your audience. And yes, maybe there'll be certain people that disagree with you. And that's great, because if you say, I stand against X, Y, and Z, and there are people out there who are like, I'm actually for X, Y, and Z. I don't know why you don't like that. Well, guess what? They're probably not the people that you want to follow you anyway. They're probably not the type of people that you want to eventually become brand evangelists for you. And they probably might never actually buy from you anyway. So why do you really care? If they're never going to support you or buy from you or be a brand evangelist or be a teammate or a customer, who cares about them? But what you're doing is you're drawing a line in the sand and distinguishing yourself, again, from a lot of the clutter and the noise out there. And by distinguishing yourself, anytime you're distinguishing yourself from a branding standpoint, that's good, because you're separating yourself. You're making yourself not blend in. You're making yourself stand out and rise above certain things. And that's what you want from a brand standpoint. You don't want to be the same thing as everyone else. If your brand is to blend in and to be like everyone else, that's really not a good brand. That's like, you might as well name your company Acme or something like that. I mean, this is not going to work. You'll never stand out. So I'll give you another example of that. Again, Michelle and myself, what we stand against, because part of what we stand for is being in the trenches. And as I mentioned, what we stand for is standing behind our product, standing behind anything that we promote. But from a marketing standpoint, we're in the trenches, right? We're in the trenches every single day. We are we're doing things to build our own business. We're learning new stuff from a marketing standpoint. We're trying and testing those things that we learn. We're applying them to our own business. And then the results that we get, we share with others. And we've got some pretty good results. And so, again, it's not like it came easy. It was very difficult, but we worked at it, and we're in the trenches, and we're doing this every day. We're investing in ourselves. We're investing in our own learning. We're investing in our own knowledge, investing in our own skills, and we then get in the trenches and we do the stuff. Like, we actually do this marketing stuff. So what we stand against, okay? What we stand against is marketers or gurus or whomever who teach theory, who teach so very vague, vanilla concepts that if you watch one of their trainings, you would walk away thinking, like, I didn't learn anything from that. I don't know what to do now. Like, what do I do with all this theory that they just taught me? Does that make sense? So we stand against those people who are just fluff and teach theory and aren't actually in the trenches themselves doing this stuff, marketing. That's what we stand against. We can't stand that. And I see it a lot. I see a lot of people who really don't have much of an idea what they're talking about. Yet they create some course on Facebook marketing, for example, that you watch the stuff and you're like, that is such bush league. Like, that's crap, right? But they sell a course, $297, and make a whole bunch of money, and they have a lot of dissatisfied customers. And it's because they taught theory. Now, if any of you were on the recent Elite Marketing Pro training, the Monday Night Mojo, I think, or the Thursday night something or other that I did, that Andrew Drawn hosted, and I did on prospecting and how to turn your leads into customers and distributors. If you were on that training, and first of all, let me know if you're on that training. So if any of you were on that training or have since watched it, the recording, I think it was last Thursday night, where it was all on power prospecting and power prospecting mindset and how to prospect your leads and your prospects. If you were on that training and watched it, type a 2, right? Type a 2 in the comments section below. And I'm going to wait here for a second and watch to see if any of the 2s come over. because I want to see if any of you are on that training. And there's a point to this, and which is what you'll get here in a second. Okay, cool. So Larry was on, Julia, Michelle says it was insider training. It was awesome. She was there. Teresa, 2. Okay, awesome. A bunch of 2. Keep them coming over. Cool. If you were there, if you watched it, if you saw it or watched the replay, type a 2 below. And let me ask you this. Did I teach theory on that call, on that training? Or did I give actual, very specific strategies, tactics, things to say? I gave first of all, the understanding of what's going on and what you need to know, and then I showed you exactly how to do it, right? And if you watch that training, do you agree with me? Would you agree that it was very hands-on, specific, tangible, that you could, like, meaty training that you could now take away and use? And if you agree with me, if you agree that was the way the training was, and you'll know that it's because I spent 3.5, 4 years picking up the phone every single day calling leads. So I can go ahead and give a training on prospecting and feel good about it because I did it for so long. I was in the trenches day after day after day, picking up the phone, calling leads, striking out, messing up, figuring it out, doing some calls better than other calls, making some drastically horrible mistakes, and realizing that, boy, Bill, that was a knucklehead thing to do. Don't ever do that again. And fixing it and revising and optimizing and tweaking to the point where I came up with the ability to profile all the different people that I was speaking into 3 different categories, 3 distinct categories based on a couple things they would tell me in just the first few moments of our conversation. Now, I could never have done that. I could never have given a training like that was theoretical. And if I had, you would all be sitting here, you've been like throwing rotten tomatoes at me through your computer screens because that training would have sucked. Okay? So I'm kind of going off on a rant here, just I'm fired up right now and I'm psyched to be here. But that's what I'm talking about. And that's what we stand against, right? People who just teach theory. Okay? It's like they learned it in a classroom. I don't want to learn from someone in a classroom. I want to learn from someone who's actually out there doing it themselves, who's actually built a business, a rock-solid business, a rock-solid brand, who's made a lot of money because that's the result of a great business, a successful business. I want to learn from someone because I will say, look, they've done it, and I now want to learn from them so I can do it too. And that's what we believe in, and we stand against the people that teach theory. So if that makes sense, if that point number 2 makes sense, then, and if you like that point, and if you can see yourself doing that, thinking about what you stand against, I want you to type a 1 in the comments section below. All right, so this time type a 1 again. So 1 means that you kind of like that, you agree with figuring out what you stand against is important for your brand, and you can actually see yourself spending a little bit of time thinking about that and coming up with what you stand against, and then weaving that into your messaging, because that's what's going to really actually build your brand. Not a logo. All right, logos, schmogos. Okay, this is about real stuff. And I see some 1s coming across. Awesome, very cool, love it. Okay, the third thing you got to know from a brand building standpoint. Again, not a logo, not a color scheme. Should I choose blue or yellow? No, not that. It's know who you're talking to, know who your audience is. Now, we talk about this a lot. You've probably heard this a lot. You probably hear this a lot within the Elite Marketing Pro community. You hear a lot about target market. You hear a lot about customer avatar. And the reason why you hear a lot about that, the reason why I talk about know your avatar all the time is because it's wicked important. Okay, it is extremely important that you can identify with the pains and the struggles and the goals and the aspirations of your customer avatar. It's very important too that you understand, and then the after state, which is now they've had a taste of victory. They're now stress-free. They have more time freedom. They have more financial freedom. They have the ability to do things they weren't before. They're not worried anymore about the bill collectors knocking at their door or the IRS chasing after them or whatever, right? It's going to be different for every one of you based upon who your avatar is, based upon your product, your service, your offer. Does that make sense? So But this is very, very important stuff, and I want to check in and see how I'm doing for time. Wow, I'm going way over. Okay, but those are the three things, right? So know what you stand for, know what you stand against, and know who you're talking to, and know them intimately and in detail, and beyond just the demographics, beyond that they have 3 kids and a Chevy Nova and 2,800 square foot house. That stuff's just demographics. I want you to really know what their intent is of who you're speaking to, and the before and the after state. And if you can resonate with them and speak to them to their before state and tell them how your offer is going to get them to the after state, what you're doing is selling that transition. That's going to be where the magic happens. That's where you're going to build a successful business. And from a branding standpoint, that's where things will take off for you. So that's it for today's call. I hope you enjoyed this. If you got value from this, please, again, click the like button, the heart button, comment below. Also, if this is your first time on one of these Daily Dose of Awesomes, I strongly encourage you to go over to elitemarketingpro.com. That is the website and blog of the Elite Marketing Pro company, which is a phenomenal system and educational platform that will teach you attraction marketing and teach you how to build your business online using proven strategies that work, and you won't have to chase down friends and family anymore. So go to elitemarketingpro.com right now. Check it out over there. And also you might want to look into the Attraction Marketing Formula, which is one of the flagship trainings and products that Elite Marketing Pro has, which will basically teach you how to attract people to you so you never have to chase down deadbeat prospects ever again. So again, Bill Pescosolido, I wish you all the best with your business. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next call. Bye, guys.